folks, welcome to another edition of Arson's Progress. I'm in the doctor's waiting room, and it's all very pleasant because there's a nice map where I can see my house on it over there, if the camera cares to go over in that direction. Anyway, so I'm all showered. And for that guy that was going on about my fingernails, you can see them. Because I've got to see the doctors, you see, I've had to scrub up. Haircut, shave, fingernails, I even did my feet. I don't look like the werewolf of London anymore. But apart from that, was it an American werewolf in London? I think it was. I'm going to be probably called any moment now to be examined. Hopefully I won't have to remove too much clothing. It's always a worry. Anyway, I'll speak to you in a moment on the other side. I'm going to the chemist's. Well, you can probably hear that thunder, viewers. I'm a little bit damp. I've just come up to the cottage to speak to you. I had to walk through a thunderstorm. I don't even know, is this even turned on? Let's have a look. Yes, we're turned on. I'm one turned on cookie. I better mic up. I could get one of those very clever Bluetooth ones. I had one before, as you remember. It was awful. A very ghastly sounding thing with a sort of a hum. Anyway, I'm in the cottage. Obviously there's no water coming down on me, so that's always good, isn't it? Went to the doctor's today, as you could see. Very nice lady. And she examined me thoroughly. She says, "Does it hurt here?" I said, "Lower." "Does it hurt here?" I said, "Maybe a bit lower." "Well, does it hurt here?" I said, "No, but it feels very nice." So that's my little joke. I thought I might as well continue the theme. I lost 2 subscribers as a result of yesterday. I think it was either the fact that I was showering with no clothes on, because of course, you know, traditionalists dress fully when they get into the shower. Or it's because I mentioned my undercarriage rather lightly, with levity. Although I told exactly the truth of 2 occasions, which I thought were absolutely hilarious. But, you know, sense of humour doesn't normally go with some forms of pomposity and piety, because it's very serious business, you know, being holy. Oh, yes. We can't have holiness coexisting with a sense of humour. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. And certainly nothing to do with the undercarriage. My dear. Whatever was the man thinking of? Anyway, back to today. Anyway, yeah, so there we go. Went to see the doctors. It was exactly as I expected. Referred for a scan. X-ray. To rule out, she said. I didn't like the word rule out. I thought, rule out what? You know, because you can get cancer of the bone, you can have prostate cancer that goes into the bone. I thought, rule out what? But anyway. She was rather nice and very proficient. I've been given painkillers. You saw me with my prescription. To numb the pain of life. Not that one can numb the pain of life. The best thing to do with the pain of life is to roll with it, accept it, try to make sense of it, understand it. What is it trying to teach you? And if it's not teaching you anything, then take the painkillers. I've got a mild sedative in the form of a rather nice Merlot over there. I'm smoking again from this just glorious Ben Wade freehand pipe. And again, within it, I'm smoking Rattrace Exotic Passion. That's another thing they don't like either, traditionalists. Passion. Senses of humour. Oh no. Oh no, laddie. And it's not as if I smoke that all the time, it's just I tend to smoke it when I'm talking to you. I had my deluxe Peterson Deluxe mixture for my first smoke about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock today. After supper I should probably go for some robust English mixture, or even that rather nice Samuel Gow's Perfection. So I do mix it all up, it just looks like I'm smoking this all the time. And one indeed could smoke it all the time, it's that sort of smoke. But I'm rather liking this. I have actually acquired another freehand pipe. It's going to be 3 now. That'll probably arrive this week. So it's nothing, I don't think it's as good as either of these two. But you know, you can mix and match stems, and we'll have a look at it when it arrives. What I like about the one that's coming, and I will show you it, is that it's got a rather nice bird's eye, what do they call it, Chris? Bird's eye, bird's needle, bird's eye, whatever it's called. You know, those little... I mean, I know that you get a thing called bird's eye maple. This won't be maple, it's briar, but it's the bird's eye, not the styrations, as it were. And that's quite pleasing. But it's got some weird gouges out of it. I don't know what the hell that's all about, unless it was you know, seconds or something. Anyway, I'll show you it when it comes. I've been shopping a lot on a thing called Temu. I thought it was like AliExpress or Alibaba packaged, where you could get cheap stuff from China. It used to take an age to arrive, months sometimes, but usually all very cheap, but sometimes it wouldn't arrive. Temu, on the other hand, sends stuff extraordinarily quickly. Otherwise, they give you, I forget what it is, they give you some money if it doesn't arrive by such and such a date. And it's all good clobber, and it's a fraction of the price of even Amazon. So they're proving quite good. I've already had one delivery. I think you saw it the other day, my meditation bell. Some incense, and there was something else, wasn't there? Can't remember what it was now. 3 things came. And all very useful and all very cheap. But I've got gardening stuff coming. I've got cloches. To put over my lettuce, because the pigeons, I think they're the culprits, have been pulling at my lettuce. I don't want the lettuce to overheat, but there is some there is some sort of air conditioning with these, and I bought, did I buy 5 or 10? I can't remember, something like that. And I've also bought some 10-litre pots. Well, they're 2 gallons, so that approximates, doesn't it, to 10 litres? And those are for the tobacco plantation, my crop. Because when they get to a certain size, I've heard that you should put them individually into a 2-gallon planter and fill it up. Get a bit of, what do they call it? Baby bio? One of those fertilising additives. And then get it back into a greenhouse or something. So that's what I'm going to do. Not that I've got a greenhouse, I've just got I've got 2 of those. I haven't erected one of them, my little mini greenhouse. I may have to make one of those, you know, I don't know, what are they called? Those where they just lift up and shut and you put them on the top of something, you know, just... I might need to create... I don't really want a traditional greenhouse because it blows a hurricane through here. And I'm not sure where everything's going to end up eventually anyway. But one of those sort of a cold frame, something like that, would do for the tobacco harvest. So that's all I've done today. So I haven't got anything really to talk about. Sometimes, you know, when you're doing a daily video like this, there isn't really anything to talk about. And some of it's quite humdrum, really. But then I suppose that reflects your lives too, doesn't it, on occasion? No, there's been nothing earth-shattering today, just getting on with the business of life, or in my case, the business of infirmity. And it's always weird going to a new surgery. I'm used to my one in Yorkshire, you see, and you get used to the receptionists, and I would say you get used to the doctors, but I never had the same doctor twice. And they're all about 12 years old. I think they used to practice on us. Even so, you just got used to where you park, where you go, the same receptionist, where you sit, and you recognise people in the waiting room. It's really weird when you move 5 counties away and plant yourself in a new area. All those little things, you know, like the post office. I used to like I used to know everybody. The postmaster was wonderful. I've got a post office now. We did have one in Wentner, a little hamlet, a few miles up the road. Gone. They shut everything, don't they? They're hopeless, aren't they? The one place where you need to keep post offices going, they shut them, don't they? Forcing people into towns. And what about the old folk? Well, too infirm to drive now, possibly. Monstrous. Anyway, I used to like the postmaster at Green Hammerton. Lovely man. I believe he's leaving the village too next year. And his lovely wife, Ingrid. And lovely girls. He's got 2 daughters, I believe. And they have a lovely dog, Weimaraner. Not a Weimaraner, what do they call them? A Hungarian Vizsla. Beautiful dog. Anyway, I think they're on the move. I almost wish that one thing you miss, you see, when you leave a village and live remotely like this is I miss all the gossip. Not malicious gossip, just who's moving into the village, who's moving out of the village, who's extending what, who's put in planning permission for the other, you know, and chatting over the fence to people as you walk the dog. Well, mine's sadly gone now, but that was a daily thing, walking around the village green and chatting to people. Don't do any of that anymore. So it would be nice to have a spy there to report everything that's going on in the village. Isn't it amazing that even though you've parked one way of life and embarked on another, I still like to keep tabs on what's going on back in the old place. Odd that. I'm even sadder than that. I went onto Google Maps because you can do Street View. And I wanted to see if the new occupants had put up some iron railings, which I was going to do on the walls, but it's an old street view. But in time, you know, I'd like to see the improvements. So yes, not really a lot today, other than getting used to my first visit to a GP in this part of the world, and that was navigated successfully. This tastes marvellous. Mind you, I was ready for it after a day like today. You know what that feeling when you've been busy and you've been out all day and you come in and you put the kettle on, put your feet up and you can settle down. There's nothing else to do that day. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? I can remember when I was young, Saturday was always the time to go shopping. It was always up and out. None of this sort of going midday and coming back when you're tired. So up and out on a Saturday. That was pocket money day, of course. And it was lovely. And I was always given instructions to meet back at a car at a certain time, and I'd go off and I'd be looking at air-fixed soldiers and aeroplanes and dinky toys. Or comics. I used to love comics. And so I could go and spend my pocket money. And the grown-ups go and do whatever they did. And then the wonderful thing was, when we got back, it was always the same. The kettle went on and cups of tea were made. This is before lunch or anything else. And we all sat down to a fresh cream cake from the bakery. And we did that every Saturday. It was a marvellous sort of habit, that idea of, you know, you go out, you get all your bits, you bring your little harvest, your mini harvest home and batten down, get the kettle on, nice cream cake. It's lovely that. And I'd forgotten all about that until the other day when I was just ruminating about how lovely it is to come back to this place after I've been out. It's funny, isn't it, how things suddenly and quickly become home to you, even though it's a caravan. Anyway, she was aghast that I was taking on such a project in my physical condition. She said, well, that won't help it. You need to be resting. I didn't dare tell her about my martial arts on my deck. But lovely lady. And I said I probably could do with losing some weight. That might help my hip. But of course they can't really say anything now, otherwise you could go away and say, she called me fat. So she just sort of smiled weakly at me when I said that. Anyway, hopefully we'll sort it out. But this is smoking beautifully, you pipers out there. Somebody asked about Rattray's exotic passion. No, they can't get it in this country. I don't know if you can or you can't. I got this from Germany. When I've got time to sit down and go through some of the comments, I go through all of them. I'll get back to the person who asked where did I get it from, and I'll tell them where I got it from. I got a whole big haul, you'll have seen the video. And I will go back to them. I got away with it last time. I seem to have avoided those men at the Customs and Excise. But if they do nab you, they can really hammer you. So I can't be responsible for giving links to someone and then they come and find me and said, oi, I paid so much in tax. Anyway, that's where I got this from. A lovely tobacco. I'm enjoying it immensely. So, yeah, overall, a good day. I'm looking forward to a good film tonight. I don't know what to watch though. Did I see something that I wanted to watch? No, I didn't. I watched a great film last night called The Potato, Peel and Something Else Book Club. And set on the Isle of Guernsey. If you haven't seen, watch it. If you've got Prime, you chaps out there with Prime, it's on there. I recommend it. I think it's got a rating of about 7.3 on IMDb. Brilliant, beautifully filmed. Wonderful cinematography. Charming story. And what was lovely about it, I mean, it was just gorgeous. The interiors of the cottages and the old buildings. Utterly lovely. Not dissimilar to how I'd like to have this place eventually. Anyway, I have no concept of time, and I don't want that thing to go off, which it will do. I better get on. So lovely chiming in with you, but everything's going in the right direction, including my body, I hope. So this is Father John, signing out. See you on the next video tomorrow. No idea what I'll do. It's been thundering this last hour. I don't know what the weather's doing tomorrow. I think it's a bit more of the same tomorrow, if I remember rightly. But I'll see you then. I might even read a little bit more of my story. Anyway, God bless, take care, and enjoy your evening. Cheerio.